Just lucky, I guess. Cheers, I do, Buckaroos. How the heck are you? Got some Delta Moon playing. Delta Moon, great band. Uh, I don't know if leader's the right word, but Tom Gray of the band Delta Moon is fighting cancer. So my best to you, sir. You know my personal story. So anyway, I just love his stuff. He's gracious enough to let me play his music on my videos, and I enjoy. They are honestly one of my favorite bands. Have been for several years. I think it was I looked it up when I think it was 2005 when I saw him here at Nathan P. Murphy's. So quite a while ago. Anyway, this is hey man, this is it. The 2020. This is it, man. My music stopped for some reason. Darn it. And once again, cheers and I do, Buckaroos. Just the music, man. Yeah, I don't know why, just stopped playing. Some Legs Diamond going on now after Delta Moon. Anyway, Materfamilias. Barrel aged Imperial Stout. Now, this typically originally used 5 barrels. This bottle says it uses bourbon, rye, brandy, and rum. Although I was told by someone not affiliated with the brewery today that they were told where they sell it that it's only using the bourbon and rye barrels. And also in the past, it always had mentioned that it used cocoa nibs and raisins, and the label does not say that this year. It is 11%, 11% spirit barrel aged Imperial Stout, and that has never changed. It's always been 11%. The nose is crazy, man. I'd say the bourbon barrel is dominant for sure. You get a lot of those bourbon barrel notes. So first let's talk about the Imperial Stout. Huge notes of roasted barley and chocolate. And that combining with the bourbon barrel, I really feel like I'm getting some toffee, some nutty toffee. I almost feel like you're getting just hints of hazelnut on the nose as well as just a whole bunch of oak. And a hint of spice, and maybe some of it coming from the rye, but to me it feels more like the barrel, spice. I'm also getting some herbal notes. I tend to get, for me anyway, a lot of these beers will trigger anise for me. And sometimes I'm the only one that gets it. And for some reason, I tend to pick that up a lot. But I do a lot of cooking, and I'm very in tune to herbs and spices. Probably why I'm very sensitive to certain flavors and aromas. Oh, it's gorgeous. We're going to take my first drink of this. I'm excited, aren't you? The 2020. Yeah, they might have hit a home run with this one. This may be the very best ever. It's hard to say that after one sip, but I just did. Wow, that's incredible. The barrel is very noticeable. You do feel a lot of the spirits. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, you do feel it. Okay, so let me take another drink. I'm gonna go over some flavors. Wow. Again, I mentioned anise on the nose. I really feel it in the body, right about the middle, along with some molasses. But early on, you really feel some huge cocoa notes, almost like a baking cocoa-like notes, baking chocolate. A lot of vanilla running from top to bottom, but it's the strongest in the middle. Kind of fades towards the end, but you get a lot of a lot of oak, a lot of the barrel spice really cleans it up. It's very sweet initially, and you may get concerned that it's going to get too sweet, and then it's not, sweet at all anymore. The barrel really does a job here. In fact, you get just a slight, very pleasant, lingering oak notes. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, this may very well be their best ever. Now, I hate to say that after just a couple sips of my first glass of the first bottle, but it is absolutely stunning. I am a huge fan of barrel aged beers, and I always have been since the very first one, way back when I was a young lad. Well, I wasn't that young, but anyway. Uh, it probably was the Bourbon County, and I had one right about the same time as that one, though. The Odell's used to do one a long time ago, and it was just amazing. I'm really sad that they quit making it because honestly, I actually like that better than the Bourbon County. Because it didn't feel as syrupy, didn't get as sweet as the Bourbon County did at the time. And it was only sold in 750s. At that time, the Bourbon County was sold in 12 packs. 12 ounce. I mean 12 ounce 4 packs. 12-ounce 4 packs is what I meant to say. And oddly enough, there was no hype surrounding the beer back when Goose Island actually owned it and controlled how it was brewed. But I am a fan of the style. And anytime I can find any actual craft brewery doing anything barrel aged, I do want to try it. I recently had the Oscar Blues barrel aged 1050 that I thought was pretty damn outstanding. But Mother's has been knocking barrel aged beers out of the park ever since they started. Well, originally called the MILF, now the Materfamilias is the beer formerly known as MILF. According to Mother's, it stood for Mother's Imperial Liquid Fantasy, and not that crude acronym that got so many folks' pennies all tied up in a knot. So they changed the name. I don't know if it was a matter. I don't know if it was so much to pressure. I think it was just the conscience of the brewery. I think at some point they felt that maybe it wasn't appropriate. And quite frankly, they're right. Even though I like names, not necessarily that, but I like when a brewery does something way out of the box, so to speak. Anyway, I digress. What can I say other than the beer is just gorgeous? It was on the shelf when I bought it. I actually put it in the fridge for about 2 hours, I guess. I pulled one out and let it sit out for about 30 minutes before I opened it. After opening, I poured and I took a picture, and it was probably about 15 minutes after that before I actually got the video rolling. So I'm probably pretty close to the temp that this beer really ought to be. Don't be afraid to start it a little colder because I like to do that too. But in all honesty, 55 to 60 is probably optimal for this beer. And some may even want it warmer than that. But for me, 55 to 60 would be optimal. It seems like the more I let this sit, the more those chocolate notes. And even though this beer doesn't say it uses raisins or cocoa nibs, the chocolate is there in a great big way. And right in that particular sip, I really felt like I was getting some dark fruit notes, raisin, very overripe plum. Um, I also feel like I'm getting some candied cherry-like notes in there too. This could be just my palate messing with me, but I'm telling you, those flavors are there if you want to find them. It's a very dark candied cherry notes with that other stuff. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, my damn music stopped again. It's about to take me off. Anyways, I digress. I am. It plays one song and stops. I don't know what the hell. Anyway, well, hey, but we heard some Delta Moon. We heard some Legs Diamond. We're having a Mother's Materfamilias. The 2020. It is very likely the best batch ever, and I've loved every batch. In fact, since its incarnation, through now, every time I'm asked if you could only have one beer, this is the one I pick because of the complexity. How satisfying the beer is, the aromas, the way it pours, the aromas, the flavors, everything about this beer, in my particular opinion, is spot on. I am Tom, the Beer Whisperer, beer evangelist, prolific beer drinker, purveyor wisdom, and cheers, all around good guy.